I missed my Tuesday deadline again. I thought the best way for me to give you this week's podcast episode is by doing a very raw and in real life calibration. This is what I'm doing. If you've ever missed a deadline, this short episode is for you. Hi, welcome to Authenticity Lab. I'm doing this very short episode because my brain cannot do much more this week. I have been missing deadlines for this podcast, mainly because of travel issues. Most of July, I was traveling. I did my best to try to plan in advance. And then, my truck broke down, so my engine blew, which meant I needed a new vehicle, but I couldn't get back to Kansas City. I was stuck in Wisconsin. I had a festival gig. A flight got delayed. It was wild. My two cats made the trip much better, and they are troopers. But it was just juggling way too much. So this week I got back to Kansas City, and I just want to thank everyone who came to the call on August 1st. That was really great. We could do some shadow work together. Here's what I want to leave you with. I suck at rest. And so normally when I'm feeling really tired, I will just push through, and I will do so in a way that will cause me to then feel the effects on other things in my life. A friend of mine always reminds me, and she says, "You can't do 100% of the things 100% of the time, Kelsey." Well, part of my brain doesn't agree with that. If you're someone who struggles with rest, I really get it. Rest is not failure, even though we know it's logically not. But here's I want to show you how I calibrated this kind of in real time. And calibration is that first step of my framework: calibrate, experiment, optimize. And this is how you can really, use your science brain. If you've been listening to the podcast, you now have a science brain, and how we can really separate ourselves from our lives so that way we can make more conscious choices from our most authentic self. So, to calibrate something like this, normally I would have wanted to hide the fact that I was tired, and I would push through. I would, in previous versions of myself, just ignore the fact that I'm absolutely exhausted. I would push until my breaking point. And so that shadow aspect of what do we hide, it's trying to protect us. When we hide something from ourselves, what is it trying to protect? And for me, when I hide the fact that I'm exhausted and I push through on a project, what it is I'm trying to protect the part of myself that doesn't want to disappoint others, or doesn't want to be looked at as a failure, or wants to make sure that, oh, I don't know, my brain's so tired, I can't think of any more ideas. Really, to hide that from myself, that I'm really tired, and to not film this episode, and to have just pushed through and filmed the full episode would have been exactly opposite of what I'm trying to share in this podcast. So I wrote down a few notes so that way I can share what's going on. So it was Monday and Tuesday. I was trying to film this episode. I remember I would get on my computer, and have you ever had really bad brain fog where just the ideas are nothing's firing? And that was happening. And normally I can get some caffeine. And so I got some coffee, and then that didn't really help. And then I went for a walk, and that didn't really help. And then I noticed how messy my place was because I had just gotten home and hadn't really organized my place. So I tried to organize my place. I went for a workout that night. I got home. I still couldn't film the episode. The next day, I connected with a friend to try to get back to feeling all right. Brain was still foggy. Could not do it. I worked out that night, came back home, still couldn't do it. Come to Thursday, was still trying to film the episode. and I got really tired. I was so tired. It was like my need for rest was catching up with me. I felt so much shame that I was so tired and couldn't film it. And if you've ever missed a deadline, and you are like trying to do it, like I think you'll resonate with that. Um, hmm. So here we go. So how do I calibrate? So we've talked about calibration. You are the instrumentation in your life. You are the one that's observing everything. And when we hide things from ourselves, for example, if I hid the fact that I was tired and I pushed through anyway to do the full episode, that would have been me really making life more difficult for myself. Hiding the fact that I would needed rest would not have solved anything. So this is how I calibrated instead. All right, instead of hiding, no shadows here. To calibrate, we need to get really radically honest with ourselves so that way we know where we are at. As an instrument, when we're observing a science experiment, we need to know where the 0 point is. We need to know, like, where is the instrument, like, where's the background of it? What does it look like? So that way when we are running an experiment and observing it, we know where our baseline is. So if let me walk you through what I did. Number one, I named the facts. I missed Monday. I was tired Tuesday. I tried on Wednesday, and I named the facts. I also slept for like between 12 and 14 hours the last 4 evenings, I think, except for last night. But yeah, so I've been tired. So I named the facts. You know what? I have been tired. My brain was really foggy. Second thing, to calibrate in real time. So name the facts, name the feelings. I was feeling major amounts of shame, lots of pressure in my chest, um, tension in my shoulders. Number 3, name the fear. I was very afraid that if I pushed through and just ignored the fact I was tired, that I would film something that was terrible and not authentic. And so here I am tired and I'm filming something, but I'm being authentic. So that feels better. I also was really afraid that if I didn't push through, and I missed the deadline, that, the algorithm would be all messed up and no one would, trust me now because I haven't been as consistent this month. Those are real fears. Name what this fear is doing to help you, because there's a reason that you fear it. So really what it is I want to create a podcast that's really helpful and consistent. And so really what this is highlighting to me is just that I really care. That's really what this is highlighting. And so the next step is to take some kind of an action. I think that when we're calibrating, we can get really into our heads. So it's good to start to move the ball forward a little bit so that way you can kind of see the light. Especially if you're being radically honest about something that's a shadow part of yourself, something that you're ashamed of and you want to hide. So for me, it's filming this episode right now. That is raw. It will be unedited, and here we are. That's what it's going to be. But not doing a full episode. And then say it out loud to yourself. Really, like, nail this point home. Really finish shining a light on the part that you wanted to hide. Okay. So I view rest as failure, and I struggle with this. And my shining a light on this is that I was resting and I was unable to do a full episode of something I was really proud of. I had too much brain fog. And if I shine a light on that and I say, that is my truth, and here I am still showing up in the most authentic way I can. I missed my deadline several times this month. I am shining a light on the fact that I am ashamed. I feel really not very proud of myself. It's really hard to say those things out loud. And also, as I say them out loud, they start to dissipate as far as feeling heavy. In fact, I just noticed that shift in real time with you. Um, when I named that I felt ashamed and that I, really named those feelings out loud, and actually strengthen my foundation upon which I stand, the calibration that we've talked about. When you shine a light on the stuff that really, like, scares you, the stuff you wanna hide, it can't cause that chaos in the background because it's in the light. And so now it's not hiding, it can't really cause you any more harm. At least that's how it feels like to me. So I'd like for you to try this with me. If you've missed a deadline, save this in case you miss a deadline coming up. I want you to really say it out loud that you missed the deadline. No hiding it, no thinking of just excuses. Say it out loud. Notice where it lands in your body. Take a big deep breath in and a nice long exhale. You are allowed to dislike that you missed the deadline like I do, and also still show up and care for yourself. I was just trying my best, and I'm real sad I missed my deadline, but that happens. And ask yourself, what does the fear of like missing that deadline, what is it like trying to help you with? For me, it's just reminded me how much I care so much about this podcast. What are you trying to, like, protect by hiding it, really? And then pick one small action that doesn't require you pretending like you missed the deadline. Maybe it's emailing your colleague, maybe it is filming a short episode like I've done now, or tell one person that you missed the deadline. Just get it out loud. Get it said out loud and in the light, all right? And this is all based on my song, Shadow. So, Shadow is all about those hidden parts, and the very beginning of the song, I say, "Don't ignore the secrets you keep." When you ignore those things, when you try to keep them in the shadow, that's what makes it so heavy, all right? So we just did a little calibration together. If you've missed a deadline like I have this month, this is for you. Otherwise, save it, this little mini episode for the future. Now, I will be back next week. Hopefully, I won't have brain fog. And I will be back to the normally scheduled podcast where we'll be moving forward in the calibration phase and doing more deep dives. I haven't decided if I'll do, oh, I have decided. Sorry, this is where my brain is at. Next week, we will be doing a full episode on integration of our shadow parts. I think this is the scariest thing that you can do. It requires a lot. I was going to say extreme amount of bravery. I'm just going to say a lot of bravery. You need to be courageous for this next one. So next week, we'll integrate the shadow and do some good shadow work, and that'll wrap up our discussion about shadow work for now. All right. Hey, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for being here and allowing me to share the most authentically I can, even though I'm showing up knowing I dislike the fact that I have some shame around missing deadlines, and that's just life. So here's me being as authentic as I can be in front of you. So I'll be back next week with a new life story to inspire you to live boldly, lead a life of curiosity so you can keep being your most amazing, authentic self.